Hello, everybody. Hello. I know it's definitely been a minute since the last stream, and honestly, I'm not even sure if anybody can properly hear me because I believe on my last stream I had an issue where you could barely hear me, which it still feels like that's an issue. But that could just very well be me. But I'm here on one of my little creative worlds just outside one of my little planets inside its rings where I like to kind of chill out and build. And I've also got my LCV Smoke'em over here because I've spawned my ship in right here just to at least get a comparable size because I want the cargo frigate to be about his size. At least so that way whenever I do build a docking station that'll actually be big enough to encompass him and at least go in there and park and have little pieces come in and lock him into place, because that's probably going to be these things' purpose as well, is mainly to disconnect these, because apparently I tried testing these out on the planet while I had my personal vehicle and one of my little utility units, this one actually specifically, to go down on a planet, and I was just too heavy to fully stop. So I'll have to redesign the atmospheric pods, but we'll worry about that at a different day. I'm just using him for scale. Right now, I want to just make sure I can go ahead and build a cargo unit. And before we do any of that, I want to make sure that I got my hotbars set up appropriately, because good lord, this is a mess. So on my first toolbar, you can do that by control 1. I'm not sure what it is for controllers, I apologize. I will not put any heavy on the first bar. I'll do that on the second bar, so that way I can at least not get myself too confused. And then control 2 to do the heavy armor. Let's see, what else? Okay, main thing, of course, whatever cargo. Get a cargo container. Control 3, we'll do the conveyor junction, connector, make sure we got tanks. I want a functioning interior, so I want to make sure I got some air vents. In case it's a long haul, I want to make sure people have cryo chambers. And hard to say whether or not I want a medical station, because it's not really meant to be anything with medical, and like the main thing you're going to be jumping between is the points. I know, okay, we'll need the gyro. Ooh. I guess here's the next question for myself. Do I want this thing to be ion? Hybrid? Pure hydrogen? No. Okay, you know, here. I've got a better idea. We will do hydrogen. Since we've already got the tanks there and stuff like that. Where's my battery? Make sure we get a beacon and antenna so I can connect to that thing. Control 4. Yeah, beacon and antenna just so you can actually see where the heck it's at. Spotlight so we can see. I've got some ideas. Bear with me here. I'm gonna want some merge blocks. Landing gear. We're gonna need a way to control her, so we will actually do. Yeah, let's do both. That. She's not gonna have her own engines. Need a battery. Don't want it to be remote control. Stairs and ladders to give some height. Okay. Okay. Oh, or actually, one more. Because I realize this is like one of the second most important things. We also need wheels. I'm gonna use the off-road ones because they have more texture. Because you got those, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they still got texture, but this one has way more texture, and it's just more eye-appealing to me. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be too much, and I'll just do the regular wheels. But I mainly want the actual suspension ones, because I've got a good idea. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with the light armor as the body. And we're just going to give it a little basic skeleton. I want this thing to be roughly about 10 blocks, right? That's 10. Yep. We'll give the mirroring, press M a couple times to kind of go between. I want it smack down in the center, so I'll do the blue. And when you're going through these, mirroring, you've got one where it'll go between the center of a block. You'll also where it'll go between like the edges of that said block, so in between two blocks. I'm using, of course, the blue one where it's aligned a long ways in the center of the block, so that way I've got it uneven. Actually, speaking of uneven, I need to make this uneven. Because I want this to be separate. Okay. Back to my original plan. So, what I want... Actually, you know, we'll go a little bit... I don't know why I shortened that. We need to go... 2 longer on this side, 2, so 4 in length, 1 extra in width. I think about it. Ooh, Jesus, I'm very soon. Yeah, I'm not quite a tech priest right now. I don't have my thing set for this world. Let's see here. What am I gonna do? What do I do? That's a skeleton. Well, okay. Let me elaborate more. So this is the actual skeleton of what I plan on building, because I want to build it like a little tanker barge that goes through like the rivers and stuff like that, and have this have, let's see here, I want this to be up here. I want this to be able to essentially to connect with its load. Haha, giggity. And actually, move cargo here. Sorry, I'm switching out these to design choice to actually get the truss pillars, so that way I can actually get the cylinder column before I put on my merge blocks. So at least that way it unifies the grid, gives it a connecting point, but this also makes sure that, hey, this has nothing that the grid will touch unifying them, so that way I can actually freely disconnect from it. So that was also another reason to get these little suckers. Oh, why not? Eh? Why does that make sense? It can go in the corner of that one, but it can't go in the corner of that one. Oh. I fucked up. That was my bad. That was my fault. I should have known better. I gotta unify these grids. Nope. There we go. Now I should be able to put those wheels on. Yeah. Put that there. One right. Oh, interior walls to act as a floor. Well, I'll make sure it kind of looks like it's got piping going down the center. That would end right there. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea right there. And right there. We will do. I want to do that. Oop, nope, I want to respawn. Do that, maybe. As a with you right there. Let's get some spotlights then. Because don't get me wrong, there's going to be more use for these wheels. These are just general stuff. Because if anything's going to go out, at least I'd rather it just be these rather than the whole front of the ship. In case it hits something too hard. Someone's not being careful. Okay, let's get down here. Let's go ahead and start getting these tanks ready. Junction. Go ahead and use the new. Actually, hold off. We'll get you here. Then you. No, okay. Down by one. Then you. That work? Maybe square off this side right here. Ooh. Maybe not. Opportunity. Okay. Another little handy little trick if you're also trying to create texture. Either the passage or corridor. Put... And then you can put a little thruster right there, and you can either do a passage or the corridor. Like that. That'll be 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. No, never mind. Okay, we won't do it right there. That's fine though. That's fine, that's fine. Up here. We'll grab one of those. there to give us some reverse thrust, but we will do passageways like that, and actually get my light armored stuff and put there. You install that there and there. Oh. Okay, then we'll do this. That's the way I gotta do you. Just debating on putting that there, but I ended up to anyway. We'll do that. Those passages that way, go like that, go down. Rest we cover up like the failed mistakes they are. There we go. And I know, I don't have the upward thrust. Bear with me for a second, bear with me. So I want to make use, I'm going to grab ion, by the way. So I also want to have a reason to have like the little barrier on the side right there. Okay. And that lets us navigate all this BS. So couple batteries. going up. Gyroscope, so that's protected. Go ahead and add some stairs in here so we can access this room. Go ahead and put that passage here early. I don't know why it's telling me, but get rid of those, put that there. Alright, back to my original idea for that one. That there. So that way we have that utility. Gives us all of that. What else to add? Ultimately, that gives me what I was looking for. Off-road tires, probably. Right here and here. Or, no. Or, yeah. I don't add too many. So at least that way we have some of the cushion for the edges that we're pushing. Give that a passageway. There we go. That gives us our essentially a little tugboat, kind of. And then we'll be designing the actual, I guess, trailer aspect of it. Trying to think of, because that gives us the little cryo, just in case, for the 2 crew members that are aboard to go to sleep if they need to. Ooh, okay, hold on, lights right here. I see that issue. I think I have the small lights on my hotbar. We'll track those. Interior lights. Do that, right? That still works. That still works. And then right here, that gives me the opportunity to go ahead and put some smart blocks. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 event controllers right here for the sake of it. Do that there. Been putting those up there just to add better detail to like some of the angled blocks. Actually, this is where I'll put the ladder. It's back here. Sad. I was hoping that, you know, it'd be 3 bars over here and 3 bars over here, but it's gonna be reversed. Some bullshit. Well, actually, hold on. If it's like that, so that means that these are the same? Yeah, I can work with that. I know I can't interact with it right there, but, I mean, honestly, who really cares? Do that, there. Well, we could do this instead. We'll have to do ladders for the time being, but can only be so picky. I mean, ultimately, the only thing you're accessing in here is the smart stuff and the cryo chamber. And then ultimately, once you get up to here, we'll actually do the important thing. Well, that's the important thing. Survival kit. And well, since we've got the second model, we'll do that because it's also got a connector at the bottom. So I don't have to turn that thing sideways. And then we'll go ahead to bridge helm. Yeah, I was gonna see if I had anything. Can't find. Well, actually, can make that to my advantage too. Put that there. That there. That there. That there. And then I can go use this. Do that. That way we've also got the walk-in area. Not trying to do all of that. I'm gonna grab an access panel. Go with my little orange right here, because it's kind of a staple for me to have some utility stuff. I think this one's got, yep, perfect. And then we can go back to our gray. Okay, so I can kind of make that work. Give that the pillar. So also kind of give it a fat head, which also works even better. We're going to do the X intersection here, I guess, as well as right there. We'll go ahead and put, go ahead and get some console modules and put them right there. These to your left, back in here. Put that there. How lit up are we? Not at all. But kinda can fix that. Yeah. That works. Yeah, and just the one gyro. That's me. Push pretty well. Cool. Cute little tugboat, probably about the size of the controls. Well, the control station for smoke 'em. So now we gotta bring him back. So we'll go ahead and shove a couple more batteries on his little rear end. Let's get some hull going. There. here to the bridge helm. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Go ahead and grab the transition. Grab that one. We'll go over here to slip corner right. That. Or should I just screw it on this side like that? Not too bad. Just got some depth. Too many issues. Actually, one issue. Don't know why I didn't think about until now. Well, no, it's still gonna be an issue. Hold on, let's see here. Is pressure. I didn't grab the doors. Let's see. We'll grab window wall. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. I really should have been. It's an important thing. The half. There it is. That way I could also do that up there. That right there. See, that pressurizes it. Wonder what's here. Oxygen. Actually, now look go ahead and grab the steel catwalks to grab the floor. Put it right there to kind of cover up that, because I like that ceiling as well. Alright, so that gives me that. Debating. What? Am I missing anything? What did I grab? Did I grab just... Nope, that was me. There. Yeah, okay, that works. Cool. And it gets rid of the bars, thank God. Okay, so let's everything stay pressurized, relatively. But let's down there stay pressurized. Actually, if that's the case, hold on. No. I don't have a way to do that. Ooh. Actually, no. Okay, so hear me out. I'm trying to think of, I can set up a system to where it's like, as long as that door's opened, it makes sure everything else is closed. But once it closes, it opens up a door to allow pressure to come from beneath. But I want to try and use the door system, but the only flat little door that I have is the lab door. I mean, ultimately, if I need auction and stuff like that, I can come over here. Now lets me drive the little tugboat to go do whatever I need to go do. Should I add anything else? Does this place look okay? I think everything looks okay. Don't need food, don't really need medical or anything like that. Got plenty of lights. Got the stuff to do that. So I guess I also need to figure out how to make like a massive merge block door. Because at some point I want a hangar that I can launch all these ships from that are big enough. Except for Smoke'em, or anything that's considered a LCV, or a large combat vessel. At least for all my all my general ships, like my cargo ships, my lifts. Because I'm thinking about turning this one into the vehicle that'll technically tow my all my printed, like, I guess stations, because I do got a couple prefab, like, cargo area, cargo landing pad, everything like that. I just haven't done anything with them. Let's see here, I'll do the parabolic antenna. We'll do the beacon right there. At least where everything is relatively accessible. so I'm getting rid of these and just going for a regular ass ladder. Putting that right there. Ah, fuck me, that means I gotta do the same thing right here. Yeah, no, that works. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove the spotlights for that one area. Maybe we'll replace those. Actually, what? We're gonna go ahead and replace one of those little modules. Replace this one for one with buttons. We're gonna go ahead and add that air vent wherever it's at, because I keep moving around too fucking fast. We'll have you depressurize on and off. Side catwalks there and there, all right there, there, and then we'll also go ahead and add the cover walls to there, there, and there. And then we'll do that one and that one. There. Good. And there we go. Oops, I messed up on one of the catwalks there. That was my fault. Do that there. How about I do the same thing over here? Nope, cool. Alright. We'll go ahead and I guess do those there. There, make sure I've got lights all around me and I can see everything. Including behind me. Cool. There we are. There's my little tugboat. And now for the tanker aspect. Okay, so I guess the important part for this is that we go ahead and set that up. And we get the connector there. Alright. So that, as long as we can hook up here. And honestly, I should probably redo him. Because this is a tanker. This is a tanker. Long hauls. Now, this ain't just going down a river. Because that's all that model's based off of. That's all it's good for. We'll keep him as a phase 1. Okay, let's go ahead and I guess finish up designing up this. this. Main purpose of this thing is just to be long as fuck and can take all modular cargo. So go all the way down here. Up there on top. Go ahead and get cargo, and the only cargo that's going to be on the ship itself physically is going to be a terminal. This terminal. Because I want everything else to be accessible through this. I can just pull from it. If I wanted to. I'm not saying that I'm going to. This still isn't a bad tugboat. I'm not trying to lie to myself. But I want to redesign it to make them look a little bit more intricate. Ooh. Got an even more dangerous idea. Hear me out. Go ahead and get rid of you, and you, well actually, no. Keep you just as a regular connector. And put that there. What if, well, no, yeah, we'll do both sides. Right here. Get a T, or no, actually, well, need one of you. I'll need to cover this up. There. Two. Merge block, so that way we can merge in on the side and take two. Because you see how I've got the mag plates set up on the side? What if I did, instead of the mag plates, the little connectors? So that way I've got two, multiple ways of hauling it. I'll go ahead and keep that there then. Because I don't, yeah, the front we'll leave alone. There. And still not wide enough. I just realized that. There we go. One extra block a little wider. So let's take an example. So that way I can bring out from the center, come out 1, 2, and put a connector and line them all down that way. this in the center. There, regular junction, that, and that. I mean, actually, that and that. And right there. Yeah. Still give me cargo access. But let me hook up to everything. At least for right now. No, I guess we'll just focus on this. Go ahead, yeah, put one right over here. One. Yeah. At every two. And, yep, perfect. That worked out amazingly. Go ahead and get one reinforced each way. Then we can get insets. And basically just put one at each end. And we can grab our interior walls, and we can pretty much just design the floor however the heck we want. I'm grabbing the sci-fi stuff. I'm gonna go down that way. I'll grab the closed pipework one. Bring it that way. Yeah. Then debating on what to put in the center to cover up each one. Ooh, we could do that. Put you over here on this toolbar. Change you to my industrial yellow. So that gave us at least some pipe working. That'll go down the center. Then actually what I could also use is the new edges that we got. Go ahead and give it our team signature blue, but we'll do it on the battered armor. Yeah, there we go. That way I'm also finally making use out of the new stuff, because I have not had the chance. I say I haven't had the chance. I haven't really felt that I could really use them appropriately for decoration. some textured edges. That's not bad. Go ahead and grab those steel catwalks. Go back to our gray and sci-fi. There. I don't know if the cover walls has a diagonal. No. So we'll just grab the railings real quick just to put that on, and we'll go ahead and re-grab the cover walls. Down. That's not what I was expecting, actually. Whoops. Go back, grab our blue, put him back on. I should change those out. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and change that with the welder. Grab our gray and sci-fi again. Put you there. I don't want any batteries hooked up to this thing, but I do want it to have some ion and atmospheric thrusters, so that way if it was used, I know it'll work. Go ahead and do these every couple. Actually, you know what? I feel like I put these in the wrong spot. I've got the opportunity to put these somewhere. Put these right there, at least on the edge. Start. Replace some of that armor, and then go over here to one of our later pages, and we'll go ahead and add those large atmos. Now my debate comes in on whether or not I'm going to use these. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use these. Ooh, I messed up. Y'all saw it, I messed up. That was my fault. Here you go. Where's my... Right there. And make sure that's pointed inwards, like that. A couple of those. This will work fine. I think this right here kind of do it for what I need it to. Use the half slip. Add some texture to it, essentially. Go down this way with the regular light. Go with the regular light down this way. Down to there. Actually, we'll go ahead down to the center too. Debates. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add. Like that. Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and cover for the rest of these. That'll give us our little flat tanker. Ooh. I'm also forgetting some pretty other important stuff. Guys. Go, because then this way I can also add some of these. So that way when I am hooked up and I've got throwing this on for the sake of it, I've got power. Most of my stuff is lit up. And then of course we'll have to redesign the modular cargo, but I plan on redoing that anyway. And then we also get to redesign him. Because also another thought occurred. Okay, main issue. Oh, Jesus, man, I'm tired. Stretching. Is let's say I do have two of these, right? Where in the world they're doing such a good job. Because does that mean I need like a slim piece, like a shark fin almost down, kind of like how I've got on my Orca, which is my, what did I classify that as? I don't have my paperwork with me. Oh, yeah, I do. Let's see here. The Orca was classified as my destroyer, and how it's got that fin down there at the bottom. How I could kind of do that where it connects here, and that way I've also got some ladders to actually come up on the thing. Ah, yeah, that would also let me oversee my stuff. And that technically lets me make it long enough to actually stick some hydrogen on the thing. That works. And I don't technically need any cargo. Okay, so that. Man, how wide to do this thing? hard to tell what I can put over these connectors to actually feasibly walk over them and into a door. Because I mean, I don't have any. Let's do. Okay, well, first off, I guess let's change those into conveyor junctions just so they're airtight instead of using those. Get my door. I don't want that. Get my connector. There. Cylinders there. For the merge block. Actually, we'll replace that. Outside lights, exterior lights for the door. Or actually, yeah, you. That way I've got that to use. Come in, connect. That gives me that. Here. Man, someone's stomping their fucking feet upstairs. Good lord. Do that. Get our door. Merge block so they can connect up here. Because I also want this to where it's like, hey, you could also connect to the back and overlook it all. So that way I can connect up here or on the sides. feel like that should give us plenty of light. Come in here. It's a decompression chamber. Well, actually, get a refill station. Put that on the back side. Right there. Actually, no, hold on. Don't they have, yeah, they've got ports on top. Or, no, they don't. They got ports on bottom. Damn it. The lab's got on top and bottom, but they don't have a seal. Fuck it. Go ahead and put the refill stations right next to theirs. Put one of these in, I guess. For the sake of putting something in here, and then let's see here. Do them the long way, like that. So that way we got cryo here. These are where our stairs will be. So I'm also going to go ahead and put timer right there. Event controllers there. One second. Gotta adjust something real quick. There we go. Let's see here. That should be fine. Where's my tanks? time. And use, guess those. This. This will give us our door. Install the batteries, I guess. All right here. I think this is gonna come out pretty nice. I guess this also kind of depends. So I also just realized I made a mistake. I could totally not have to fucking design my stuff this way. So I wasn't even sure if I'm gonna have my thrust. Actually, this is big enough that I can just go ahead and shove a friggin' tank right there. There and right there, create some curvature. Oh man, should have done this one. Yeah, should have. Go to that, that. Cool, that means I stay out that way. too bad. What I can do is I can go ahead and give me my industrial little warning stuff, which I can put right down here. And then from there, also go ahead and just yeah. Because that'll give me some ion. I guess to kind of go up. Let's see here. At least that way I can come in the center, pick them both up. Not quite tall enough. Let me go ahead and I guess left, right, forward and backwards. I'll need up and down, which makes me want to go wider on the top and kind of get some length. Ooh, should I do angled thrusters? I wouldn't mind some angled thrusters. That could be kind of fun. Subgridded thrusters, at least for this one too. Nah, leave it be. We'll go ahead and add some cells right here. some more reversed and forward thrust as well. At least this way I get some sideways thrust too. That means we can come forward. I guess I'll also need a gravity generator here in a second. No point having all this going if I can't even freaking, stand on it. Come out forward enough. Right here, I guess. That survival kit. Put that little sucker in here somewhere. Kind of debating on putting him right here. And the gravity generator actually the other side. No, I'm gonna want more batteries than that. Up until I can actually get some freaking Prototech stuff, until I can get the Prototech batteries regularly constructed. Got the assembler for it, but I don't have all the Prototech scrap or the parts to actually put the shit together. But, okay. This should kind of work for us. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and put some gyros on these little suckers. 2, 3, 4. Oof. Let's see. Y'all are gonna get in the way. Dang it. I wanted to put them somewhere. So only really need to get rid of these lights. I guess let's go ahead and get these guys connected and going. Whoops. Or F5 actually. I did not mean to do that. Just trying to connect to checking for mods, yada yada. Oh, we love explosions, guys. Oh, God, I love hitting the pen. Smoking, doing some space engineers. Got the drink, we chilling. I know I don't want this thing to have any turrets, because ultimately that's what I want to have the little drone carrier following behind. I might have some interior turrets on this thing. That'd be it. I don't want all this excess worrying about, oh, is this connected? Is that got ported correct? Does that have all its weapons appropriate? Because this little sucker took forever to make sure this was properly all piped up, because I've also got all these freaking advanced rotors on top of the ones underneath it, because you go in here, it's just an advanced rotor with that hooked onto it. And she took a second, but she works, and she's just as good as what I was hoping, having some custom railgun turrets, some custom assault turrets. They've got their own little turrets on top of them. And then I've got my own little bay with its own little field. It doesn't really do anything, it doesn't pressurize anything, it's just a blueprint that's just been projected over it. Then you. Alright. So, let's say. Which spot? Put that on 3. Go ahead and grab the bridge window too. We'll put that there. coming up the stair. First thing we come across is that. That. I guess we'll have bridge doors. I feel like that also helps give some variation to all of our depth. So here, got all this set up, this closed off. That'll actually give us a reason to go ahead and put some access panels, because I love access panels. Well, I say that. Where I really want a bridge. What? How to fully design the bridge? Kind of want to design it like the Prospector. Still his head. Honestly, still not a bad idea. I'm not gonna design the cells. What to do, what to do. Well, okay, let's get you over here. Make sure we can actually even hook up to you appropriately. Get our gyros again. We remember we need to put about 4. I know once we grab a hold of stuff, we'll be a lot slower. Nope. And next important thing, remove lights. I could work with this. I do need to move my thruster locations a little bit, but overall I can work with it. right side connected. Over. I'm liking it. Let me make sure nothing touches other than you guys. That's a yes. Only you. And I guess this thruster cell setup we will try again. Which is A-OK. Move them anywhere. There. There. Yeah, always another thing that's important is to remember to correct your mirroring whenever you're doing it. So that way you've got everything done in one go. Not redoing shit like me. And do not worry, I am still keeping everything the same. Might make the neck. No. I think the only thing I might actually do is create some like little wings that come off to the side, and I'll have lights that point down below me. And then of course I'll lengthen up, I guess, my ass. And we can make that, I guess, living quarters if we wanted to. Don't have to. Alrighty. Definitely looks like she'll go through some more hydrogen, but she gonna fucking move. Succulent AA batteries. Love that little kid. Fucking Pimations was the GOAT. I'm liking it because it also makes me think that it's like, okay, hey, I can come up to a docking station or like a dockyard, connect this in on the other side, disconnect, and I'm free to go. And that lets the forklifts or whatever we're using to move the modular stations, modular stuff, and fucking just get it. Which honestly, that'll probably just be a ship, which will have like these little claw, like a little claw, pick it up and move, or connect up to it, whichever you decide. Okay, so let's see what we can do with the body now. First, let's correct our mirroring. There we go. Well, I guess let's just fill this in. Then we're also going to have to design the wings, and I'm not looking forward to designing wings. Kind of gives us an ass to overlook everything. Got good sideways thrust. Shouldn't have to worry about nothing getting in the way. See it again. Part of me wants to do say texture, and it didn't even do a thing. I'm blocking it all up now, except for like maybe a spot. I'm just kind of following wherever my brain takes me now, because I'm in the groove. Hard to tell what I'm supposed to be having to do with these wings. Someone was telling me. It was the Dark One speaking to me. Maybe. And then I guess change these up to our, actually, while I'm here, I'm gonna grab our I'm specifically grabbing our signature blue, which is a little darker. See how this works. I mean, it does something. I mean, it adds like depth and texture. Which, I mean, they really don't need wings. It's a tugboat. I'm not sure. Oh, take a drink. Let's take a fucking puff. Let's see what we can brainstorm a little bit more. Another thing I just realized, I think something I could technically do is like do them back to back. Like have this face the ass end of that one and then just connect them. Okay, well, let's disconnect. Switch lock, and switch lock, just, or actually, oh no, I hit one of the lights. Where's my bottom thrust? Pressing my freaking spacebar trying to get out of this thing. Actually, 5, yeah. Oh, that was terrible of me. I don't know if I freaking placed them when after I deleted them whenever I was trying to readjust the new thrusters. And I'm all doing this because my buddy didn't want to show up. He was supposed to be joining me. We were going to go on our survival series, and we were going to be doing this. And I would have been designing this in survival, which would have taken fucking forever. Jesus. It's always handy to have a little creative world to go ahead and save blueprints and do what you need to. Which is another reason I didn't want to do subgrids on this specific piece, or these specific pieces, because I did not want them fucking not being able to be printed because they're subgrids. Let's see, grab that and that. And I know there's mods out there to print, that is capable of printing subgrids. I am not going to install them. I mean, as you can see, there's a couple mods I install. Like this plant, like this, of course. Like the build info. Like well, I didn't do it in this one. There's a skybox one, which I really need to do it in this one. But to me, they're all aesthetic purposes, and that's what I like to try and keep them to. And the same goes for our server. I don't think I'd add anything drastic, like the scrapyard survival. Because he's pretty fresh into gaming in general, just because he hasn't gamed in forever. No, well, I'd say no fault to him. It's specifically his fault because he had a kid. But overall, it's nothing like, hey, we're too, screwed on. Right now, I'm trying to get the printing station finally finished up, which shouldn't take me too long. Depends on how badly I want to greeble the little sucker. Which I've been kind of doing a little excessively, and then I get distracted by building extra stuff to go with that greebled stuff. I'm like, oh dear. I'm doing it again. In which fucking me and him will talk about it at work. Go back to our gray, get back our sci-fi armor, and I'm kind of just going with whimsical shapes because I want it to have, I want my ships to have some depth. I want them to, looks like they had design in mind. I do not. I'm shoving shapes together because I do not know what shapes to shove together. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this thruster. I know I don't need to, but I'm going to. I know that didn't make any sense, but it made, my brain. It made perfect sense in my brain. Or at least that's what I like to tell myself. Yeah, we're coming together. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. But we are getting there nonetheless. Make sure I've got enough spacing. Talking about. Let me get over here to the windows. My dog over there is just sniffing incredibly hard at, I guess her legs. Like just something. She's always sniffing at something. Bridge windows, maybe? I had it somewhere. Is it only in this one? Really? Okay, well. That solved that main issue. I say it like there was an issue. There wasn't really much of an issue. It's just me trying to spaz out and figure out what the fuck I'm looking at. We're getting there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a shit. That's the only thing I can think of whenever I'm putting this little sucker together. And put... make base a good... Don't look too bad. Oh, yeah. If only I freaking remember to plug up my lower thrust. Lose my mind if I forgot that again. What did I just delete? I deleted something. What did I delete? I don't know what it was. Oh well. Alright. I think we're basically there. Or we can start setting up interior essentially. Get everything programmed up and named and we're I guess we'll go with this angle, going back this way. We will give it some the armor at the top. Just to help out in a skiff, it's scraping at the top or something like that. Now I gotta show you guys wherever the fuck I want. Come on, do it up here. Right there. Oh. Oh yeah, my own spotlights that I put over there. There we go. Beacon and antenna. As we walk over here. Plenty of ways to stop and go. So that means I also should be able to take this thing in atmosphere, specifically on a planet. God damn it, I'm pissed. I can't have my lights. Oop, someone don't have thrust at the bottom. Or someone got placed by accident. Trying to think of a good place to put the door. I was trying to think of where I put my door. I got rid of my doors. Put it just right here. Alrighty, I guess let's compare him to the size of, well, okay, hold on, let's, what am I talking about? It's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's, well, I should have blueprinted that one at least specifically. Oh, I didn't have to redo this real quick. Save the blueprint, make sure I save that to barge. This will be a barge. Large modular vessel. Number 288. / named barge. Let's go ahead and pull up next to the ship. Let's get a good, decent, like, size comparison. Oops. Close that behind me. And see how large. Oh man, we're somewhat tiny compared to. Compared to smoke, I'm like only his front. Well, no, I'm almost probably half. What's that? Cool. Cool. That gives us our. Sorry, stretching. Our cargo vessel. Let's go. Let me get my tool. I like having my little spray paint thing, it's fun. Paint all these blue so I can see them. Okay, cool. Now lets me bring any modular container with me. As many as I want. Means I'm gonna have to have that printing station set up pretty here soon. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sure, showing it. Always healthy to just double check everything at the end. See and make sure there's nothing you ain't want to adjust or change real quick while you got the time. I guess let's go ahead and we can tuck these. Yeah, that gives me some better light. Kind of across it all. Bunch of lights, hydrogen, and connectors. Oy vey. Alright, what do I gotta do? I guess kind of have to help. So because I see where it's at, we can go ahead and change it out for you. Sweet. Why aren't you the same? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just grind them out. Sweet. I like it. I don't like this. Bunch of hosey hosers. This works, I guess. I'll make it work. Everything should be working. Lights, batteries. I got a battery that'll last days. which will be its job. Ooh. I wonder, is this the time to see So, okay, hear me out here. I know it sounds weird, but a modular jump drive, because I've got the connectors in the back to make use of those, just make like a long little connector line that'll tether behind and act as a jump rig. We leave, and once you get where you need to be, you disconnect from it, leave it behind, let it charge off of solar. Keep a beacon on it, of course, and if you can, a GPS coordinate on it, and go do whatever you need to, come back to it, hook up, and then jump back to wherever you need to. Well, I'll think about it. I ain't gonna do it, but I'll think about it. What do I want to add to this? Put some TV. Put a TV up there. Fuck it. Thank you. Hey. How are you pressurized? How are you pressurized? This is a problem. I can straight just dive through my window here. You're so picky. You were so picky over all these leaks. And I get a big old freaking hole in the window that I could straight dive through. Freaking, and no, I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh my god. It's gonna make me lose my mother flipping mind. Dude, come on. Trying to mind my cursing. I apologize, guys. Don't ask. YouTube algorithm likes it a little bit more if I do not. I'm willing to keep it that way. Man, we've been streaming for 3 hours. Think about that. Three hours to get this fully built, fully finished, fully refined. See, it's a good thing I'm going about and exploring everything, make sure everything works. Okay. See, yeah, no, I could totally do it because I've already got like the modular little Atmos thrusters, which I could totally do. Change it up on that one, on at least on him. I can do the jump drive, freaking modular jump drive, and that'd be fine. Because I know those Atmos thrusters don't carry him if he's got weight, like if he's actually carrying something. If it's just the ship, he can technically survive, but it is not into the way that I want him to, so I'm gonna have to change up the atmospheric modular thrusters on him, on Smoke'em. Then I could totally do the jump ring modular setup. Ooh, you know what? No, that's a lie. So you know what I could do? I could make the jump ring. And the way that I do that jump ring is Like I'll tether it behind, have a long little connector, but it's got like 2 small nuclear reactors. Give it its own little cargo storage, or at least a small one, so it'll fill up enough uranium ingots, so that way you can leave it behind. Yeah, no, that totally work. I can do a little filter system that'll only allow uranium to go into that system. Hello, Miss Pepper. Sorry, my dog decided to come say hi. Hello. How are you? What? 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 Hi, Miss Pepper. But at least we could do that, and I could do that with so many other ships. Like, I could probably install the stuff to do it on this one. Actually, I could do it specifically right here. So that way it falls right behind on the center. But, I mean, it's got its own jump drives, so I'm not worried about it. And then, of course, I need to figure out what will merge and not merge, but still let me walk. I mean, this is letting me do it just fine. But I want something smoother. You know, I want a flat surface I can just walk across. And then part of me... I'm going to listen to this little part of me that's speaking to my brain right now. And what we're going to do is, I can go ahead and show y'all how to make a little computer system that you can install as long as it's somewhere airtight. You'll need your rotor, landing gear, light armor block, and blast doors. And then, of course... we'll get... Don't need the programmable block. Technically, I only need this one, so we'll stick with it. But what you get is you get your advanced rotor, specifically your advanced rotor. Pop it down, get rid of its top, navigate to whatever menu you need to, and attach a medium head. I like to do the medium head. And then what you'll also do is you'll change its rotor displacement all the way down to -11. I'm going to change this up to my battered armor. Technically, you don't even have to do it with the landing gear. I kind of don't even want to, just because there's not a lot on this. So you can technically just lock your rotor. There's a case where you can do the landing gear if you got the new one, or it's the landing gear type 2. Fits perfectly in this little 1x2 space right here. If you do not have the type 2, then you can do the regular small head, but that one causes some clang and I don't like it, so I don't ever really mess with it. But we get back to this. Get your blast doors, you surround this little square. Get your little corners. Do the same thing, because you just want to create a proper seal just in case you ever end up like walking around its edge. Do that. And then what I'll kind of like to do is I like to grab the little cylinder columns to create a little table. Let's see here. I'm going to And then this is, you get to design the computer system however you want. This is it. This is your little computer system. I'm gonna add some truss lights. Because I feel like it. And then for whatever you need, I'm gonna need a event controller. Probably gonna need a timer. Also gonna go ahead and grab an action relay. Go ahead and grab a broadcast controller. Probably also gonna go ahead and add. I need to add that. I was about to say I kind of want to grab a TV. Make it as decorational as you want. But at least this way, you can go in here, go to your event, you can use this one. If any of these doors are open, you know, K doors, call it large modular vessel number 288 / barge vessel. That's what we're gonna call this thing. Call it doors. Of course, since it's a subgrid, it's got to change the color. Select action. When the doors are opened, I just want them closed. And that's all I got to do. Now, of course, I've got event controllers in here and stuff like that. I've already got them. I'm simply showing off what you can do with a small computer system. And technically how you can subgrid anywhere, either on a base or a ship, because I've already done it on Smoke'em. See, and that'll just automatically close them. I ain't gotta worry about them. Everything stays pressurized. And it's a simple little system. And then, yeah, I've got, of course, the cryo room. Got a good cryo room going. We got a little oxygen tank that shows us, hey, how are we doing on our oxygen? Filled at 43.33%. Come in here. Write our normal stuff. That is closed. We can oversee technically all of our stuff throughout all these windows. Here's our control. I think technically if I wanted to, do this, because this is the new one. I like it, kind of. feel like this sets me up for exactly like thrust, to move me around, to see what I'm doing. And then I'm looking out my windows. And I know this freaking place is gorgeous. Cool. And then of course I open that. That gives me time. Storages are slow as fuck. Oh. Next important thing. So, whenever you've got a ship, please be kind of have some courtesy. Sorry. Go in here. Press info. Show gravity range. Go to your gravity generator. Show on HUD. That is your bounding box for your gravity generator. Go in here. Manually adjust that shit. I only want gravity inside the ship itself. I do not want anybody outside the ship to be within its gravity thing. And then ultimately, if we wanted to, what we can do, at least for the barge blueprint. No, we'll leave it alone. I was about to say, we can throw a gravity generator technically on that. There is a spacing right there in the center, which I can use for a small gravity generator, which will cover the barge itself. Each barge. As long as it's connected to something, of course. Because if it ain't connected to something, it's just floating out and about. Guess what? That thing's scrap. You better go, you know, pick it up. It's yours. Ooh, excuse me. Cool. Okay, that gives us our freighter, and I am proud of it. I'm okay with it. Oh yeah. Something I also like to do. If you can make the space for it, go in here, grab a programmable block. There's technically a way to do it on this little computer setup to make it recognize that it's on a subgrid and to do it to other subgrids that are attached to it, or the grids that it's attached to. You do not have to. Completely optional. Let's see here. Where's a spot? Open. Good space. Damn. Hard to think of one. But, I mean, ultimately, you can place this programmable block somewhere on your vessel. And ultimately, I've got it added in Connor. I can go ahead and show you on him, actually. Him close. So, like, here's the regular programmable block itself. Yeah, this is a little computer system I got going on with him. It's a lot, I know, but bear with me. Come in here. These little suckers. It's just like little servers. Or it's meant to look like it, at least. And I've got mine set for the thrusters, and what you can also do is set for LCDs to recognize how much cargo you got, how much battery consumption you have, how much energy is being used, you know, whatever, yada yada. You can technically do that in here, so that way whenever you're connected, you can see what you have of what. And I guess now that we got the freighter, man, I don't know what to do for... Because I want to say I can technically set up a small modular container. But we'll figure that out at a later time. You know, we've already accomplished a lot. We can go ahead in here, go ahead and change show gravity range to get rid of that bounding box. It's still going to show on HUD anytime you turn it on. You can turn that on by going back in here. This door is upside down. I just realized that, and that is now going to bother the fuck out of me permanently until I fix it. There we go. And we'll go back into add event controller and add it in there anyway, and add it to the groups too. Here into broadcast controller or doors open. I don't know what I'm missing out on, but I feel like I was missing something. But oh well. But yeah, simple little setup, and you can set up your lights to be a little lighter and change up their color. All that extra jazz. And that should be good. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. If anybody came back to watch the video, I hope y'all give it a like, give me a subscribe. I hate saying that just because, you know, I don't want this to be a thing, but, you know, I just want everybody to at least get my name out there and maybe enjoy the Space Engineers. And then, you know, maybe one day I can show how I actually made Smoke 'em. Maybe we'll go through, well, I mean, I've got a world right now. It's got, like, you know, I could show it on stream real quick. I keep talking. I'm going to talk about it because it's cool. But it's also really, really slow because I've got a world where it's everything. Oh, well, okay, not everything. Almost everything. I don't have some of my modular buildings themselves, but almost everything in my fleet that I've ever built from day one when I first started playing Space Engineers. Up until, you know, now. Minus, of course, the barge that we just built. Everything else has been placed into this world, whether it be Smoke 'em, Connor, Wayne. It will be, I think another thing that wasn't in there was Zeta, because that was Project Zeta. That was what led into Wayne. That was what led up to Wayne, because I did not like how the first outcome of him came out to be. I never like how any first one comes out to be. It just gives me an idea. I apologize. This is going to be laggy as all get out. I don't know if anybody's really going to be able to see anything or hear anything or experience anything. Well, here she is. Oh, I'm slow, my PC. But, okay, yeah, that's all my small gridded ship as well as some other stuff that I've saved, blueprints. These are all my modular stations that I've built over time. That was one ship that was in the make in progress, but I decided not to. Those are all my small ships over there, and they just get larger, or to the ones where the order they came out. I know right now, Smoke 'em is currently my biggest. If we go into my survival world, I'm working on a dreadnought right now that is smaller, or that is bigger than Smoke 'em by a pretty substantial size. Uh, and he's probably also going to be the most heavily armed because right now Smokem has two rocket silo or two missile silos on each side to 3D print and go ahead and launch them out. The Dreadnought, which I think he had named Better Run. Like, hey, you see him, Better Run. He has 8 on each side. 8 on his left, 8 on its right. Of the missile silo printers. And on top of that, Smokem has, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 custom turrets right now for what has been made, and I plan to add more once I get some more resources done and ground up and sent over here to the Void Station. Man, I just realized a couple things. I could really change up how my Void Station operates. I could change up how a lot of things operate, just making everything modular. Modular batteries. Once we get in here, I apologize. I know it's slow as all get out. I do not have the top of the line CPU, PCs, or anything in the regards of my computer. I just have a little baseline computer just to keep me going. Actually, there she is. I put my own, like the prototype thruster that I do have, I merged onto there. And I've got it set up where it's got 4, 5, 6, 10, 13, 14, 15. Wait, what? 10, 14. And then I'm going to have more down here on the lower. But we're at 14 right now for the custom turrets. And then we're also going to have a large railgun turret, similar how the Orca was designed, which was decommissioned in this world and was turned into Smokem. Wayne's here, of course. Still operable and I think being drained right now. He's pretty happy. Here's some of my... I know I still need to get a lot more lighting going on. But, you know, I designed this little spider ship, which I still haven't freaking blueprinted or anything like that. You need to do that. You press this one button, everything freaking opens up, locks, depressurizes, everything like that. And you just hop in. She's all set up and nice. All you gotta do is come up here, press this button again. Closes that door. Pressurize. Locks the door. Door comes up. You're free to come in here. And this is your little passenger seat, and this is your primary driver's seat. And look at her. And she is primarily an exploration vehicle. She is not meant to do anything. I just have her set up right now to where she does have weapons. So at least someone's not getting their ass wiped. Keg. As you can see, she's still definitely a little bare bonesy. But she is meant to be a little spider. She is meant to take some absorption. I did some tricks, so hear me out. Hold on, watch this. Okay, yeah, watch it. Depressurizes, unlocks the door, opens it, and lets my fire. That's so cool. I had to use, so having these many subgrids on everything was definitely freaking out Clang, because as you can see, it's a hinge, 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 3 hinges, and everything was wobbly. Everything bounced. And so what I had to do was use the trick of using a landing gear to completely stabilize this to this grid, because that's the main two I just needed to support. Then I had to do that little trick right there that you can see just to make it work. But it worked. That's the important part. Let me come over here, because I want to say this one. Hold on, I forgot. Spiders. I'm not going to say this one as anything specifically. It's just spider vehicle. I'm going to build another one. I like building some of the arachnid stuff because, I mean, like my little trilobites and my trilobites and stuff like that were my little multi-legged ships that would go around and eat stuff or build stuff, whatever the fuck, because I thought they were cool and I was going to build drones. But it's like drones don't like subgrids, so I got rid of that idea. Oh, just look at her. She just kind of glides around like a little flying spider. And yep, she's got little subgridded ion thrusters at her feet. But she's meant to kind of, I could call it a little asteroid hopper. I'm kind of hesitant to really smack her around, but for the sake of the stream, at minimum, nothing should really get destroyed if one of the legs catch you first. Because if you land just smack down in the center first, yeah, you're going to crush your abdomen. Because I don't have the feet low enough and I don't have a timer set up yet to do all that. I mean, I could definitely set it up. I'm not going to. But it's still, because I've already got the functionality, the general functionality of what I was looking for. I'm settling. I settle pretty easily. And it does pretty well. I mean, yeah, as you can see, it doesn't have as much of a charge. It's H2. It kind of drains a little quick. But my plan is at some point I'm hoping to take it on a planet. I'm hoping it's light enough that the ion and this little bit of hydrogen that I've got on it will lift it up into the air. If not, I could definitely change it and adjust a little bit more so that way I can. Because I want to be able to leave a planet with it. Because I want this to be like a personal vehicle for whoever wants to enjoy it. As you can see, some of the other turrets that I did not have to use, the 2 turrets I didn't have to use, whenever I was designing Smoke 'em. Just lock in place. Close that door. Yeah, no, I really need to get some stairways and everything like that set up because everything's kind of cobbled together. But with that being said, I hope everybody had a good time. Everybody kind of learned something. If anybody didn't, by all means, feel free to dislike it. If you did learn something, I hope you do like it. Subscribe if you want to continue learning some little nifty stuff. I'll try and teach it how I can, because I get lost, I get focused, and I apologize. But I try. I apologize, but I try. I want to start getting the drone setup going and everything like that for those who haven't even tried setting up drones. I know there's a lot of people in the space engineers community who have abused the heck out of drones since they've learned how. And it's fairly simple to pick up, but it still messes with me sometimes. So I'm taking my time with it. I'm not rushing it. But I hope everybody had a good stream. If anybody has questions, concerns, please leave a comment. I'll see what I can figure out for you and see what we can answer, and we can figure this all out together. Have a great day.